Hey, welcome everybody to the Bad Rock Open 2017 by Dynamic Discs, held in Liberty, Missouri. This is one of the newer courses in the Kansas City Flying Disc Club area, and this one was designed by John Thies. It is an amazing course, and we get to enjoy that today. Hole 1, downhill, looking right into the pond, 308 feet. Trouble on the left side is really all you have to avoid, and of course don't go long. On the tee is first is Chris Clemons, fresh off the USDGC, finishing 20th, a good showing, and he gets us started. He looks to be early left. Joe Hesting out of Kansas City as well. Throwing a mid-range, wide hyzer, and he gets denied by the tree. Should have a look. Looks to be right around the circle's edge. Jordan Renzelman. This is his home course. And he lets off very nice, smooth release. A little high. And hopefully he is not too far into the woods on the left side where he can actually attack the basket. Scott Reek is the tournament director. He is sharing duties today with Michael Kruger, who is helping him out while he plays, and Michael Kruger will be foreseeing the open division while Scott Reek will take care of the AM divisions and the rest of the tournament itself. That was a very nice bid by Scott, just short. Joe just misses that. You can notice there's some trees down. There was a really bad thunderstorm that went through the area the night before and knocked down many trees in the Kansas City metropolitan area, and this course was affected as well. On the drive into the course, you saw many downed trees on power lines, and crews were busy all morning long. We were thankful the course was not affected too much, but we did see some debris on hole 1. Chris gets the deuce on hole 1, as well as Jordan. Good start for both of them. Hole 2, 260 feet right over the pond. There is a narrow entryway. Once you get over, there is a tree on the right. That branch extends outward, so if you're coming in on a hyzer with a right hand backhand, it will block you and probably put you in the drink. This is to look from the other side of the pond. The green fades away. It's a pretty fast green. Once you get over that berm, you want it to sit. And it's an excellent drive by Chris. But honestly, when you're on that tee, all you want is to get over on the other side and not be wet. Jordan is going right at it, and he is hyzering out a little bit early. He is safely across. And the reason you don't want to get wet on this one is the drop zone. The drop zone has a much harder shot to the green than what we see here. It is off to the left, a lot of trees in the way, very hard to get up and down, very unlikely to get up and down for a bogey 4. Joe was safe on his drive, as well as Scott. Don't see any ripples, and he is safely across. He actually has a putt at the basket. And Scott is just short on his 50-foot attempt, and it rolls away on him. Chris wastes no time getting started fast. 2 for 2. That was a really nice putt, and he is feeling good. Jordan had that one right on line, just a little short. Joe, this time he didn't miss the basket. He was center, just short. He is narrowing it down. He should be getting close to finding his target and getting into the rhythm. Scott cards a bogey 4. While Joe and Jordan will clean up their threes. Chris holds box with his deuce. Hole 3, 196 feet, plays straight uphill. Now you have to worry about that very narrow gap. Once you clear the gap, you hopefully don't want to fade out left and give yourself a long putt. It was very windy today. It sustained winds of about 11-12 miles an hour, but it was gusting way above that. Gusts of more than 20 miles an hour. And that is a splash off the chains, almost for a hole-in-one. Chris Clemons on fire to start this round. Nice smooth throw by Jordan. He is up on the mound inside 15 feet. Joe safely on the mound as well. Couldn't quite see where it finished there, but it looked really good. Scott does not make it out of the gap. He is on the right side, and it can be pretty thick. There's a lot of trees that can block you. So it's a very high priority to get out of the gap. And that didn't work out. He must have hit something on his release, and it just blocked his shot completely. This is his third shot. And it was a very good shot. Puts it right underneath the bucket. And that is everybody's favorite way to start a tournament, with a turkey. And Joe gets on the board. Jordan, after a nice drive, closest to pin, gets his deuce and climbs to 2 under for the tournament. Hole 4, 184 feet. This is probably the easiest hole for the tournament on the course today. There are many, there are several pads on each hole and several pin placements. On this hole, this is probably the easiest setup. All it is you have to get over that tree and dump left quickly before you go long up the hill. Chris throws a forehand. He is a southpaw. Goes a little bit up the hill on him. Jordan executes the hyzer spike very nicely. He is right there inside 15 feet, pin high with the basket. Joe gets it up and down nicely. He's a little bit long, but also inside 20 feet. And that is also a good drive by Scott. Everybody doing what they're supposed to do on this hole. Four in a row. Chris is feeling it. Excellent putt downhill. He goes to 4 down. Joe from about 18 feet. No issues. He goes to 2 down. Scott having a slow start today. His putting is not helping him out. Let's hope he cleans that up. And Jordan goes to 3 down. Good start for Jordan. Excellent start for Chris. Hole 5, the only par 4 on the course. This one is a straight ahead and into the woods. There is a large section of brush on the left side. It's like an island right there. You can see it on the left side of the screen. You want to get around that, and when you see the big tree trunk, the basket sits inside that cove, approximately 30, 40 feet past the tree. The difficulty on this hole is the wind conditions that were presented today. Chris opts to play it safe on the left side, looking to give himself a clear, unobstructed view at the green. There was a headwind, and it really affected Jordan's shot there, flipping him, and he ended up going way right. So he's going to have a very tricky look to get up and down. Joe is using Chris's strategy. He's going on the left side up the hill. Normally with no wind conditions, you'd want to, for a righty, you'd go down the hill and around that bush to get yourself a chance at deuce or a very, very easy 3, kind of like what Scott has done there. Scott is playing more of a safe shot, short of the brush. He doesn't want to get in there. But that is the line if you want to get, if you have a lot of power to get down to where you have a chance at deuce. Jordan fortunate to land on the edge of the woods. It could have been a lot worse for him, and he executes a forehand very nicely, gets a skip and a look to potentially save his birdie. This is a par 4. Chris catches the left side, and we did not see Joe's drive. Joe hit the gap of the green and skipped down towards the edge of the green below the basket. He went long. As the first putt, we see Chris not making. It was a very difficult putt. Downhill turnover putt for the lefty. Jordan had good power on that one, but just did not have the aim. And just a little too far off the green for Joe. to have a really good opportunity to convert his birdie.
Yeah, if you don't land in the right spot, you can't get a decent putt. I still want to bet that gold though. Average is closer to 5 or whatever.
And that is a shame for Jordan. He was in good shape to save par after an errant drive. And he just pulled it right on the putt. So Jordan will get his bogey 5, and everybody else gets a 4 on the longest hole of the course. Hole 6 is a blind shot. You can't see the basket from the tee. It's uphill. The tree line on the left side really bows outward into the fairway. The trees extend right. It's all about touch and feel on this one. There really isn't anything to aim at when you're on the tee box, and you're hoping to be pin high, close to the edge of the gap to where you give yourself a nice putt. And you can see the difficulty. You don't see what exactly to hit.
In a tree or something?
Is that good?
No, you landed about where Chris landed.
Really?
And you can hear, you need feedback from the players on the right side to kind of tell you what happened to the shot. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it early? Chris did get pin high. That's a pretty good shot. He is left with a 45-50 footer downhill. Leaves it low and left. And Scott gets this first birdie of the round with a very nice 45, 48 foot downhill putt. Just over the lip, right where you want to hit it to avoid any kind of bounce back out of the basket. Excellent putt, excellent deuce. Joe also did a good job to hit the gap.
Please hit the basket, dude.
Just left it way too low. Jordan gets in the gap, so it's more common to see what you saw with Chris, Joe, and Scott, where you kind of end up at the edge of the tree line looking down. It's more infrequent to see the discs get in there to give you a closer putt like Jordan's. And Jordan takes advantage of that. Hole 7, 244 feet. You're going to notice when the footage rolls that one of those trees in the middle has fallen from the storm. There's a gap on the left and there's a gap on the right. The gap on the left, you can see the basket, but it's more of a fool's bet to go down that side. The easier route to the basket is on the right gap, high, let it hyzer in. more complicated approach for the left-handed player. There you can see the tree and how it affects the left gap. It kind of opens up the right side a little bit more, but not substantially, to be honest. Jordan didn't get out, but he didn't get a terrible kick. He still has a play at the basket. And that was a really nice forehand by Chris, hitting the gap high on the right side, letting the disc do the work. And you can see Joe aiming that exact same spot. And his is just low, hits that thicker, branchy area, and it kicks him right. Jordan getting a little too close to that tree on the right, but the flight, everything else was just right. He is very close for his three. Joe is now left with approximately a 65-footer. And that is a deuce from 65 feet. Nice step putt by Joe. Joe says, "Don't forget about me, Chris. I came to play too." That one looked really good. Perfect flight, shape, just didn't have the power to get there. And Chris is doing his thing, mash on the gas. He is trying to get some separation from the field. Good save by Jordan. Hole 8, it is right there, right in front of you. Now you're shooting across a valley. The wind can play tricks on you. It can swirl. It's really all about what the wind is offering you and how you need to shape this shot. And it looks to have surprised Chris. It did not let his disc fade in like he wanted it to. Kept him out left. Joe's is coming in high, and he is on the dance floor. Excellent drive by Joe. And Scott sawed that one off left. He didn't even have to look at it. He knew it was not a good shot. He will just be looking to get up and down and try again on the next hole. Very smooth throw form by Jordan. Very compact, powerful. It's very nice form.
Good shot. I was kind of amazed you were doing it.
It's a really good shot by Scott with the forehand on the left side. And Chris cannot connect on that turnover putt. It's the second one he's tried this round, and both have failed to meet chains. Jordan cleans up his nice deuce. Joe taps out, moves him to 4 under par, 1 closer to Chris if he makes this. which he does. So we go from a wide open hole to a very narrow hole, very short, 195 feet, but you must hit that lane and get up there. Any kick right or left makes it very hard for you to get your par. And Joe doesn't make it through, but when you do hit a tree on this hole, you would at least want it to just kind of sit where it hit. Don't kick right, don't kick left. Gives you an actual opportunity to save par. Jordan's kicked right. Can't tell how far right, but he may be okay.
No, not like that.
And that was an excellent shot, and it kind of cut rolls back down the hill. And that's how you dial it up. Let it bounce up the hill. Excellent shot by Scott. So Jordan fortunate that he didn't kick right very far. Jordan stayed on the fairway. He actually has a chance at deuce, and he looks like he's going to go for it. What a great effort. That is not the easiest putt. You have a ceiling, and you could roll down if you hit. He could have easily rolled down after hitting the face mask. Chris gets his deuce. That is 6 under in the front 9. Excellent start to the tournament. Jordan is 4 down for the front 9. And that is a very respectable start. Scott with more of a slow start. He is even looking to get better on the back 9. And that is it for the front 9, guys. Join us for the back 9 of the first round of the Bad Rock Open. Let's see if Chris continues this dominance that he is exhibiting.